Hey guys, I wanted to talk about what's been going on, the latest update. I know the last update I pretty much said, life's been going on and all that. Um, but ever since I've made that video, I've noticed I've had a bit more energy. I've been making it a point to just go outside a bit more, uh, just try to go to the gym a bit. So uh, I realized more recently that I feel like my body's more tolerant. Like I can do more. Um, of course, it's been a couple of years, or almost like a year plus. But it also dawned on me. I have this screenshot for a reason. Is I went down a rabbit hole of just I just wanted to get out of the I don't know lame habits, and just randomly found the site, and it talks about where does the day go, and I filled it out on my desktop, but it kind of just shook me a bit, like in a good way. Ideally, I would probably spend 7 hours sleeping and work school. I consider like the work school is like doing something productive slash I don't know creation and like working out and just do more of that stuff. At least ideally, and that time home is like family, friends, and just recreation. Um, ideally, that would be like an amazing day to split up that way. So here's how it would look: work, home, sleep. You could read through this, but essentially, he talks about setting a morning routine. And for me, my morning routine, I'd say it's about maybe 90 minutes. At least according to that, like, what did I put initially? I like to speak to the logic. Yeah, 90 minutes, because I essentially get up, and ideally I would start my day by going to the gym and or traveling and going to the gym or some sort. Um, so I just want to throw that there. So here's my updated day. Split up into four. Then I ask about time eating lunch, eating dinner. I don't eat super long. This might be a lot faster, but even if you're just trying to focus your time on lunch and, or for me, like if I want to eat more with my family or whatever, like that's time well spent. So, and hone in on things. So 30 minutes, cool. So that's about an hour. And then talk about going to work, 15 minutes to and from. More or less, I mean, it's like 10 minutes, but let's just throw 15 in. But cool, now it adds all of it adds up the split of the day, ideally. Your morning routine, the commute, um, work, lunch, all in between, and then home, dinner, sleep. Pretty straightforward schedule. Well, then it also talks about the kind of running into distractions. I know I probably should be quicker to this, but I think this is still pretty important. How often do I check my phone? Ideally, I said 30 minutes, but then I thought more about it, and I was like, well, some days, yeah, I do. Some days I don't. Like I might not check it for like half a day or like all the day. I don't know, but on average, if I do pick it up, it can be between 15 and 30 minutes. But I said, screw it, 15 minutes. And this is what hit me. It was like every strip is checking the phone, and that's like essentially blanked out of the day of anything. Like I mean, I could be on it, but it's being cut up when it's not intentional. And even if it's like not, let's just say 30 instead. It's still schedule's cut into 34 pieces as opposed to what we had up here, which is not too many things. Then points out all the other distractions, checking my email. I do that. Eat snacks, yeah. Marketing calls, YouTube spirals, and I'm pretty bad at that. So I'm catching myself doing these distractions, and I'm telling myself, and I feel like I'm feeling a lot better, like I can move and do things, or at least like I'm more have like my energy point levels are like higher than normal, and I'm dealing with these distractions. I'm kind of just looking at here, and I'm like, yeah, and I'm kind of screwing myself over, and then it keeps going down the rabbit hole, And it says to make the schedule more accurate, we need to add the amount of time it takes to switch tasks. For me, it could be up to 5 minutes, but 2 minutes, 3 minutes, I say 3 minutes is pretty fair. 5 minutes is pretty bad if you look at how it changes in real time. But I like to think 3 minutes is actually pretty standard. And yeah, so we blank out these part of the days where we're trying to refocus, and if you have trouble just even focusing in general and just staying on task, this is already pretty rough, right? But yeah, this also includes the distractions, and then again, you have to keep doing all that. And then here's the actual number that it gives you, is like, if you cut out all the day, here's how much work you think you're getting done. 7 hours. And then how much work you're actually doing is 5 hours. But that still doesn't even count, well, it mentions here, like the ones that happen throughout the day, how it ruins your flow. Even more so when you're not working at home. Like, this is only talking more about your work day, like your actual living day too. Like, so theory, I'm trying to write schedules and figure out, like, what am I doing day over day, trying to follow that. And just seeing this number and confirming it here, like even just a month ago, like, I was on it for like 4 hours a day on average, 29 hours between Safari, Instagram, and all that. Same thing, but this time it was like 39 hours for the week, Instagram for 10 hours. And then last week it's like 42 hours Instagram, and then it's more of a split. Some of these things are just like, yeah, I browse Reddit, but the Roku, like, that one's probably just left on. YouTube was probably left on. But point is, it has that. And as I scroll down, I realized it talks about like last week's averages, like how many times I picked up the phone. So if this is 82 a day, then I'm picking up 577 times. And again, I scrolled through this for the first time, and I'm like rereading it now, like 577 times. That's like almost 100 times a day, like 80 times a day. So 80 times a day actually is more equivalent to, where was the distraction part? Yeah, it's like every 15 minutes. Almost 4 an hour, but this is more close to that. Or yeah, it's cut into 67 pieces. So yeah, this is what my day would actually look like. And then I'm actually getting more 4 hours instead of 7 hours. So that sounds terrible now that I have that mindset, but I feel like I wanted to say that out loud. Not because I want to just say things to say things, but I feel like I'm acknowledging this. I'm going to post it too, so I'm kind of held accountable. Not to say I'm going to continue the series, but at least now, when I talk about all that time doing the speed run, like 4 hours difference, 3 hours difference, we try to use our time effectively. And I clearly have not been. So thank you, Neal.fun. I appreciate it. It's a really good site. I recommend it. And I'm going to try to build from this. So adios.